Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Julie. My pronouns are she and her. And welcome for joining us on this special occasion today. We're going to start off with a few songs chosen by Beth. So please rise, whether in body or in spirit, and sing along if you know the words.
Woke up this morning, I suddenly realized we're all in this together. I started smiling, 'cause you were smiling, and we're all in this together. I'm made of atoms, you're made of atoms, and we're all in this together. And long division just doesn't matter, 'cause we're all in this together. I saw you walking in the city, and we're all in this together. The world is changing, 'cause we are changing, and we're all in this together. Every 12 seconds, someone remembers that we're all in this together. In the kitchen of your new home in the suburbs, we are all in this together. Come on, baby, I don't mean to rush you. I only wanted to reach out and touch you. I gotta start to open my heart. I know you think about jumping ship before it sinks, but we are all in this together. Ask a scientist, it's quantum physics, we are all in this together. And on the railway, we feel like strangers, but we're all in this together. Yeah, I love you and you love her and she loves him, but we are all in this together. You know, baby, there's never been protection in all the history of human connection. Come on, darling, it's alright to show me you don't ever need to be lonely. Once you start to open your heart. I saw you crying, I started crying, 'cause we're all in this together. And then religion, it's a big decision, but we're all in this together. We are 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 all in this together.
Please stay standing for our next song. And sing along.
You can hold my hand when you need to let go. I can be a mountain when you need to valley low. I can be a street light showing you the way home. let the roots run deep. If it's love that we give, then it's love that we reap. If we want a garden, we're gonna have to sow the seed. Yeah, I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. The door is always open, your picture's on my wall. Everyone's a little broken, and everyone belongs. Yeah, everyone belongs. I want a house with a crowded table and a place by the fire for everyone. Let us take on the world while we're young and able, and bring us back together when the day is done. And bring us back together when the day is done.
Good afternoon. I'm Chepel. My pronouns are she and her, and it is my absolute honor and privilege to welcome you to WellSprings, both to those here on site in Bell Hall and those participating via live stream this afternoon. Our mission is to be a community charged full with the charge of the soul. I welcome you on behalf of those who created the spark that started our charge, those at Mainline Unitarian Church who, as the 21st century dawned, saw the need for a congregation in this area. Members of Mainline, along with our denomination and local district, provided the seed capital to begin our congregation with the gifts of both a full-time minister to lead us and time for clear discernment. I welcome you on behalf of the planting team, which I was very privileged to be a member of, that took that initial spark and loved it into a fire with diligence and faith. We learned to trust ourselves and each other and grounded our congregation in our shared core beliefs and values. I welcome you on behalf of all of us who call WellSprings our spiritual home today, brought together by our vision that we are called to make the world whole. I welcome you on behalf of all those who are touched by WellSprings in our surrounding community. We share our charge through our ministries, and also each one of us through our aspiration to express our faith abundantly in everyday life, not just on Sunday mornings. I welcome you on behalf of all those seeking community and connection who have yet to come through our doors. May we remain diligent in tending our fire to offer newcomers the same warmth of connection and belonging that we have known. And finally, I welcome you on behalf of all those who WellSprings will touch through the ministry of Beth Monhollen, whose ordination we gather to celebrate today. For this special occasion, we've asked Beth's mother, Rose Guerri, to come forward and light our chalice, and after she's done so, we will say the words on the screen together. And together we say, we light this chalice to celebrate the path lit before us
the warmth of kindness that shines from within us, and the radiance of wisdom that is shared between us and never goes out. Thank you, Rose, and thank you all again for being with us today.
Hello, I am Reverend Sana Saeed. I use she, her pronouns, and I am Congregational Life Staff for the Central East region of the UUA. I bring greetings on this wonderful day to ordain Beth Monhollen. Ordination is a privilege of the congregation, a rite of passage for the new minister, and a blessing for everyone. I am honored to be invited to be a part of this important and meaningful milestone and to accompany you, WellSprings congregation, as you joyfully affirm that you witness a minister in Beth today. As you ordain Beth, may you feel all your power to bless through this ordination. And Beth, may you feel the collective love and spirit of this beloved congregation through the many blessings and prayers that will be surrounding you on your ordination day. Congratulations to you all, but especially to you, Reverend Beth. Blessed be. Hello, I am Reverend Sana Saeed.
I am the Reverend Denise Cawley. I serve Countryside Church Unitarian Universalist in Palatine, Illinois. I also am the president of the UUMA Ministers Regional Chapter of the Central Midwest region. And I have known Beth since 1993. And in 1995, she and I went on an amazing trip to Spain with Alverno College, and we have been close friends all these years. I am delighted, I'm beyond excited to welcome you into ministry. What an amazing coincidence that we were roommates back then in that trip. And I think that so many things that we learned on that trip apply today. I'll never forget your bravery when you performed on Las Ramblas in Barcelona, doing your one-woman kind of street performance. That was just so brave, so brave. And the juiciness of the oranges on that trip, led us into the sweetness of life. We had so much discovery and camaraderie. And that's the thing about welcoming you from your UUMA regional chapter. We need one another. We need the camaraderie. And so make sure you are in colleague groups, go to the retreats, go to the seminars, all that stuff, because it's one of the best ways to keep yourself healthy in this calling that's so much more than a profession.
Hi, friends. I'm Reverend McKinley Sims. I use he, him pronouns. Oh, thank you. I'm going to take my hair down because I don't want you to think I take this too seriously. So from Reverend Denise, you heard welcome from a longtime friend and from the Ministers chapter in another part of the world. I am the president of the UUMA, the UU Ministers Association chapter here in this part of the world. And so I've gotten to know Beth a little bit, and to bring greetings to this august body is my privilege. But I have to admit, I'm sad. I'm sad because you're leaving. I'm sad because I only got 1 year in this space and with so much else going on. I'm sad that we don't get to spend more time today with everything else going on and that I can't monopolize your time. And I'm so grateful for everything that you are bringing to this space and to our space. So one of the catchphrases of the Ministers Association is that we need one another, and we take that very seriously. And one of the easiest ways to burn out and to cause harm is to be disconnected from each other, and finding ways to support one another, to be present for one another. We're glad to do that for you today, Beth. So thank you for all you are bringing to this ministry. We love you. We need you. And when you need us, we got you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Pugs. He, him, his pronouns. I have had the joy of knowing Beth for over a quarter century and being married to her for 24 of those years. It is 24, right? Okay, thank you. I was telling Matt at lunch that I don't do time very well. And the first year we were married, I forgot Beth's birthday and our anniversary. And she's stuck with me for 24 years. Beth asked me to introduce this song because One by U2 is a sad song. And we can have sad things at happy occasions, right? We can have more than one. We can have this and that. This song is important to both of us because we met in an Irish pub in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, once upon a long time ago. And I like to tell people that I picked her up in a bar. But this song by U2, it is a sad song. And people always think it's about a breakup or a hard relationship. And in a sense it is. It's a song about Bono's struggle with organized religion. He was raised in the Anglican Church of Ireland and the Roman Catholic Church of Ireland. And he had a problematic relationship with it, but he was very much a God-fearing man. And so the song is about the tortures of some aspects of organized religion, but the core tenet message of loving each other. We have one love to share, and we get to carry each other. And so that's why, and so having this song on this day, which is a song which is important to both Beth and I, and also having that message to remind ourselves to not get caught up in the trappings of the dogma and doctrine of organized faith, organized religion, and to remember the core tenet of love and how we get to carry each other. So I had originally recorded this song back home in my little home recording studio, and we were going to play a video of it, but that feels weird to watch myself on a screen. So I'm going to ask Andy and Rod to come up, and we're going to do this live for you, Beth.
Is it getting better? Or do you feel the same? Will it make it easier on you now. You've got someone to blame. You said one love, one life, when it's one need in the night. One love, we get to share it. It leaves you, baby, if you don't care for it. Did I disappoint you or leave a bad taste in your mouth? You act like you never had love. You want me to go without. Well, it's too late tonight to try to pass us out into the light. We're one, but we're not the same. We get to carry each other, carry each other. One. Have you come here for forgiveness? Have you come to raise the dead? Have you come here to play Jesus to the lepers in your head? Did I ask too much, more than a lot? We give each other, that's all I've got. We're one, but we're not the same. Will we hurt each other, then we do it again? You say love is a temple, love a higher law. Love is a temple, love a higher law. You ask me to enter, and then you make me crawl. And I can't keep holding on to what you got, when all you got is hurt. One love, one blood, one life. We got to do what we should. One life with each other, sisters, brothers. We're one, but we're not the same. Will we carry each other, carry each other? One. 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 Do you hear me coming, Lord? Do you hear me call? Do you hear me knocking, Lord, knocking at your door? Do you hear me coming, Lord? Do you hear me call? Do you hear me scratching? Will you make me crawl? And while I have the microphone, I just want to say, Beth, I'm honored and blessed to have journeyed with you through this, through the last 25 years, 26 years, some number of years. And I want to thank this congregation from the bottom of my heart. I've said this to several people today as I've met them.
But to have a congregation be this nurturing, this kind, this giving, this caring, I've seen Beth grow and develop and mature and truly grow into this ministry, this role, to answer this call she's been hearing for a long while now. And I want to thank all of you. We're blessed that you accepted her with so much love. Lee, that you mentored her with so much wisdom. And Beth, you for being so brave as to embrace this journey. Thank you. Love you.
The Truth About Saving the World by Muldrow. What if I told you the revolution doesn't need your stress or your overworked exhaustion? What if I invited you to let go of that rage and resentment, to set yourself free first? What if I asked you to spare this movement your fear and panic at the expense of all those bitter jokes? If I told you this movement is fueled only by your every joy, would you believe me? Would you show up too with a boom box and shoes unlaced? Would you invite your little cousin to sing like church at the protest?
Would you kiss in public and call yourself courageous? Would you hang out in your homie's garden plot, braiding garlic? Would you make love more often and embrace your every ecstasy? Would you read quietly, knowing you are changing the world with each chill? Would you find yourself giving daffodils to strangers or topless in a swaying hammock? Would you whisper sweet words to yourself in the mirror or cook dinner with a dear friend? Would you suddenly have time to write poems or take a bike ride with your daughter? Would you plan a vacation to someplace beautiful and savor your food for the sake of us all?
Would you pay more attention to what makes you happy? Would you sleep in and drink wine while making art? Would the way you feel come into focus? Would loving people be the most important part? Will you come to replace complaining with writing thank you notes? Will noticing beauty become your religion? I want to tell you, beloved, the revolution will be joyful, that your happiness is a necessity, and your love will be remembered.
Oh, Beth, so much of the time that you and I spent learning and growing together took place through these little boxes of pixels. So it seems only right that that's how I would join this celebration of your new life in ministry. Our third reading today is from the Shadowscapes Tarot. The Tarot is a book of wisdom without a binding. The story is reordered every time that we cast a spread. It's kind of a choose your own adventure, which is a pretty good metaphor for ministry. You will take all of the tools and skills that you've learned, and you will combine them in infinite different ways as you encounter different contexts and personalities. And so this reading is just for today. It's a reading for this moment of leavings and new beginnings. I will put the cards up on the screen. Our first card today is the Ace of Pentacles, a card of pure potential. It is the possibility of abundance and security, the promise of well-being and flourishing, of reaping the results of hard work. But it doesn't indicate what shape that flourishing will take. This is a card of seed planting. How you nurture what you start now will determine the outcome. The second card is strength, the image of two beings, one delicate and one fierce. Together, they are courage, composure, persuasion, and force tempered with compassion. They point to faith in your success. They call for both unshakable resolve and the flexibility of a well-timed pivot. And our third card is the Queen of Swords, blade at the ready to slice through deceptions to the heart of truth. The Queen stands back and casts their eye over the entire situation, taking in the balcony view. They're intelligent, loyal, witty, and humorous, but above all, forthright and honest about what they see. The Queen knows how to deliver the truth without shame or blame. Now, this was supposed to be a 3-card spread, but there was an extra card that wanted to tag along as I pulled the third one. This bonus card is the 7 of Wands. It depicts an adult fox protecting the nest of smaller, helpless kits against an attack. This card is for taking a stand and defending what you believe in. Together, this reading tells the story of all the gifts and strengths you bring to your new ministry. May it be so, and blessed be.
Just have to do a minor adjustment. I got it. The one thing about Beth and I we're almost the same height. And we met each other at Prospective Student Weekend at Meadville Lombard and have been friends ever since. And speaking of tarot cards, Beth gifted me my first tarot deck, and it was a crow deck. And the crows were really, really cawing this morning, and I couldn't figure out why. But that's for later. Task at hand. Can everyone hear me? Through pandemics and state violence, and economic struggle, and before anti-trans decrees, into every aching place, the dreams of God reach for us. They awaken and entice with their foolish ways of life, calling the faithful up from pits of despair and off of thrones of power, through waters of deliverance and into lands of healing and repair. Before the burning bush of this world, asking us to love all its holy, hurting ground, come with whatever seed of faith you can muster and listen. Listen with your hunger, your hurt, your heart, in all its wisdom cultivated over time in the company of others. These are the soils from which God calls us to blossom and bloom, to bear fruit that nourishes and grow our future with care. This tending requires courage, but it is not a sacrifice. Just let yourself unfold in the direction of shared flourishing. Maybe you are a cleansing fire or a safe place to rest. Maybe you are the grit that won't let us give up. Maybe you are the queer love poem that opens something holy and hopeful in 1,000 other people. There are a million ways to be love in this groaning and gorgeous world, and that is it. That is God's invitation, their promise, their lure away from all the counter forces that leave you doubting your offering, selling your soul, or hoarding the precious and unique resources of your story and spirit and life. Trust in whatever sacred thing bubbles up within you. The divine takes on flesh, and yours is no exception. You can be a conduit of eternal love. You can be an act of radical solidarity. You can be a moment of grace. There is so much in knowing God is always that close. There is so much joy in showing up in our collective possibility, saying yes, saying, here I am, saying, may it be so.
Was great programming. On this holy day, in this sacred moment where you have chosen to ordain Beth Monhollen into the Unitarian Universalist ministry, and in so doing affirm her call into this ministry, I am here to ask you for money. And I have to say, this is one part of ministry I've always kind of felt awkward about. The money thing, the asking thing. Now we interrupt your spiritual bliss to cajole a few bucks so that we can keep doing this thing. And while I know it is important, I confess my attitude towards money in these spaces is often tinged with the feelings that range from guilt to resentment to resignation. Something that has to be done, but doesn't always feel great. I was blessed then. Blessed with a conversation recently. A friend offered to me, she said, Greg, you know, money is just a store of energy. We expend energy to earn money, and we exchange that money for the energy of others through their labors, their ideas, their thoughts. Now, I don't have time here. I'm already going to take way more time than I was allotted to explore that full idea with you. But I do invite you to hold that possibility as a kind of truth that we can live into for this moment.
And ever since my friend offered me this money as energy storage idea, I have come to the realization that money can carry all different kinds of energy. In these last few weeks, I've been developing this practice to intentionally notice the energies I imbue my money with. And what I have found is that the vast majority of my transactions have been somewhere along the line from ambivalence to resentment and sometimes even anger. Ambivalence as to the cost of eggs. Resentment as to the never-ending costs to maintain my house. And anger when the insurance company refuses to pay for a test my doctor required to make an intelligent diagnosis. I'm fine, by the way. What I rarely, if ever, have noted over these weeks is how often my monetary, energetic exchanges come from the greatest, most expansive energy that I know: love. But here's the thing. Love money is the best kind of money. Love money is freedom. Love money is relationship. Love money expands from its energetic source. Love money pours into this world and transforms it. Resentment money doesn't transform anything. Ambivalent money doesn't either, and anger money has no chance of transforming anything. Nor, by the way, does guilt money or shame money. I've tried. It doesn't work. They're just the wrong kind of energy. Small and tight and so limiting. So today I am here to ask you for love money. Expansive and joyous, transformative, and yes, even sacred. And how are we going to use your love money? I'm glad you asked. We're going to be transformative in two different ways. First, half of your love money will be poured into what is called the Living Tradition Fund of the Unitarian Universalist Association. And that fund supports UU ministers by providing scholarships for those studying to become ministers. Also, educational debt relief for those ministers who have finished that, so they can focus on being great ministers as opposed to how am I going to pay off that debt. And emergency grants to religious professionals when unexpected and extraordinary needs arise, and they do. And then the other half of your love money will be poured into this congregation's Belden Intern Fund here at WellSprings, a fund established about a year ago to ensure that this congregation can continue to be a teaching congregation, a fertile ground for the formation of truly extraordinary ministers like Reverend Beth and Reverend Lee and me. But here's the thing. These funds don't need your ambivalent money, your guilt money, don't need your shame money. That kind of energy just doesn't spend. It's too small and yet too heavy, too contingent, too limiting. These funds only need your love money. So what I ask right now is that you take that bill, that check, that text to give amount and charge it full with your love. And when you find that whatever amount you've decided to give can't hold all the love you want to charge it full, take that moment and grab another few bills. Or add an extra digit onto that check. Or move that decimal point on the text to give a little bit to the right. And then notice how love energy expands to transform this world. In a moment, we are going to pass the hats into which folks can try to fit their love money. I don't know if our hats are big enough. And if you're writing a check, you can make it out to WellSprings congregation with Beth's ordination written in the memo line, so we know what your intention is there. And if you prefer to give electronically, text WSprings, WSPRINGS, Beth, to 73256. Should be up there. Yep, there it is. Let us offer now, my friends, no less than the full energy of our love, and watch what unleashing that energy into this world can do.
Get around, okay?
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast, to be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. But I wonder what would happen.
But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors, and that's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show. I wanna see you, just wanna see you. I wanna see you, I wanna see you be brave. Show me your smile. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy. Falling for the fear and done some disappearing. Bow down to the mighty. This world makes you crazy, and you've taken
Just
all you
stop
can
holding
bear.
your
Just
tongue.
call me up,
Maybe there's
because
a way
you know I'll
out
be
of
there.
the cage where you live.
Call me
Maybe
up,
one of
because you
these
know I'll
days
be
you can let the
there.
light in.
Call me
Show
up.
me
How big your brave is.
say what you wanna say and let the words fall out.
Honestly, I wanna see you be brave
With what you wanna say
and let the words fall out. Honestly,
I wanna see you be brave.
don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. Your true colors are beautiful.
And since your history of silence,
I can remember when I last saw you laughing.
let your words be anything but empty.
Just
Why
call
don't you
me
tell
up,
them the
'cause you know I'll be there, and I'll see your
Say
true
what you wanna
colors
say
shining
and let the
through.
words
I see
fall
your
out.
true colors.
Honestly,
You're
I wanna
beautiful like a rainbow, and I see your true colors. Let them show. I wanna see
Love you, Beth. Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Chris Groppe, President of the Board of Trustees. My pronouns are he and his. And on my side here are Tony Scullion and Julie Choi. Thank you. Within Unitarian Universalism, only congregations can ordain ministers. As a president of the WellSprings Board of Trustees, it's my honor to now lead our community in this act of ordination for Beth Monhollen. I invite all the members of WellSprings congregation who are here in the room and every member who is watching online and joining us from home to now rise in body or in spirit and say with me the words that are printed on the screen. We, the members of the Wellspring congregation, do hereby ordain you, Beth Monhollen, to the Unitarian Universalist ministry. For those you serve, may you bring healing and wholeness. May you speak and act in the spirit of love, justice, mindful presence, and compassion. We ask that you dedicate yourself to living with joy and hope in a world of both pain and promise. We charge you to lead us and all people into the fuller knowledge of wisdom and the greater service of love.
Mindful of its privileges and responsibilities, I humbly take up the ministry to which you ordain me. I pledge myself to serve gladly with grace and gratitude, with bravery and kindness, and to always bear witness to the deep sacredness of being wherever it may be found.
And now I invite all those gathered and assembled here and at home to rise as well, whether in body and spirit, and affirm Beth's ordination together by reading the words on the screen. Beth, you have touched our lives in so many ways. With joy and pride, we affirm your ordination. May your ministry nourish you and become a source of healing in the world as it already has touched and inspired us.
Nope. Reverend Monhollen. Get used to it, girl. Oh, Reverend Monhollen. You know, you have chosen quite a time to become a minister. You know, we all know here as colleagues, this is not the prosperous and stable path it once was, even just a few decades ago. It may be closer, perhaps, than it's ever been in our lifetimes to the path that the ancient religious leaders followed, the ones we read about in the scriptures. It's become a path of increasing risk and instability, of changing norms and changing community patterns, of cultural collision and reformation, of insecurity and change and slow institutional collapsing. This ministry is, as you and I have discussed many times, a weird job. It is a weird job on the one hand, but it is, of course, before anything else, beyond the trappings of denomination or tradition or structure or institution or this cultural moment. It is still an ancient and sacred calling, a way of accompanying people through life, through pain and through joy, that will always exist in some form. In traditions across time and across this world, we spiritual leaders like you and I, Reverend Monhollen, people like you, Beth, we have been called teacher, healer, father and mother, brother, sister, sibling, priest and priestess, the pastor, the shepherd, the leader. Some of you might know the Arabic origin of the word imam means the one who precedes, who goes before. The Sanskrit root of the word swami means the one who knows themselves. The title of Rinpoche in Tibetan Buddhism literally means the precious one. What a job description we have. And what a time it is to take it up. But however it happens, whatever form your ministry takes, Reverend Monhollen, you know how much this world that we live in today is in need of healing. You know how deeply we are in need of chosen families and mutual care. How much we need the kind of leadership that says, yes, I will go first. I will take the leap and step out in front. We are in need of people who know and trust themselves as precious and treat all beings as our beloved and precious kin. That is the world you will minister to. And you're ready, Beth. You are ready. You've been ready. Ever since you articulated that call to run away to the Baptist nunnery as a child, some part of you has always known. Some part of you has always known that this is who you are. You were made to connect people to the Spirit, to the holy, and to each other. And you do it so well. It seems almost effortless from the outside, though I know it is not. This world that you are called to serve is changing and grieving and full of threat. It's also stunning and beautiful and filled with life and glory. In this moment, there are neo-Nazis in the halls of power, and there are herons nesting by the creek, Reverend Monhollen. What do we do with a world like this? I have watched you wrestle and sit and pray and walk with that question. And so I charge you, Beth, this afternoon, more than anything else, to trust that you are ready, that you are up to this great task. You are enough for it. I have trusted you with this congregation, with the hearts of these people, and boy, have we been rewarded. And Beth, if there's one thing that's been glaringly obvious about you in the 2 years I've known you, it's that you will love the people around you. You will learn the names of everyone who works in every shop on Bridge Street. You will love the people around you wherever you go. You have the gifts of a healer and a teacher and a shepherd and a sibling and a leader. So today I charge you, bring you. Show up as you. Other people's words are nice sometimes. They fill out a sermon, but you don't need a quote or a footnote to bolster your divinely given gifts. Your most powerful ministry will happen when you show up as your whole and imperfect self. The person you were made to be, the person you are still becoming. Because when you bring yourself into this world, and you know this, you don't just do it for your own self-esteem, you do it as a witness to our faith. You show up as your own precious self because of what our tradition teaches us, that we are enough. Just like Verdis read in that beautiful litany, the divine takes on flesh, and yours is no exception. We are beloved and full of God and spirit and holiness, just as we are, and damn it, we get even better when we are together. I do know that you know this. You preached it this morning, and folks, these are my notes. I did not add to them. Sounds a lot like your message this morning. I know you know this, so I charge you to remember it in your body, to find ways to pay enough attention to yourself, to care for yourself well enough, to just learn to recognize what it feels like when you lose it, to recognize what it feels like when you might shrink back or doubt yourself, and build practices that you can trust to use in those moments, to remind you that God is showing up in you too. And you don't need to prepare away or purify or perfect yourself to make yourself ready. This divine calling is already here in you. And from now on, it's part of your name forever. The Reverend Beth Monhollen. Welcome to the ministry, Beth.
Thank you. I've asked Andrea to open this gift, and I've asked, of course, the other members of the internship team to join us here. Andrea has created this gift from the congregation. And so I wanted her to open it so that everyone can see the gift that Andrea has created together with the congregation. And Chris, if you would step forward. Let me tell you before we do this, as part of the ceremony, we need to know the stole has become a public symbol of the mantle of ministry within contemporary Unitarian Universalism as a gesture of the love and appreciation for Beth's ministry with us, with WellSprings congregation. The internship committee and Andrea together are presenting this stole. If you will go ahead. As a symbol of Reverend Monhollen.
We are Brooke and Jessica Wagner, and we have been blessed to know Beth, Reverend Monhollen, for the past 30 years. thanks to the Alverno Theater Program, where we studied as undergrads, and then were later to be blessed to serve as colleagues at the college.
Well, Reverend Beth has been nurtured into ministry here at WellSprings. She has been nurtured in many ways by many communities who are with her in body and spirit today. This stole was gifted to Reverend Beth by her former colleagues in the Alverno College Advising Office, and we are here honored to share this stole with Beth today as a symbol of how her ministry is connected beyond Unitarian Universalism. We love you, Beth.
This may be my favorite part of an ordination. I have come to think of the right hand of kinship as a bridging ceremony for ministers. It is a precious rites of passage for us, but it is not unique. Unitarian Universalist ministers did not make this up. Many religious communities and even secular groups have orientations or membership ceremonies where somebody extends their hand out in a handshake and welcomes you in. WellSprings might very much have a ceremony like this. Paul wrote about it in the Bible as a way to invite people into discipleship. The right hand of kinship officially bridges you from laity kinship of mutuality into a ministerial collegial kinship. This right hand of kinship, formerly the right hand of fellowship, is a traditional act on behalf of colleagues that goes way back to the mid-1800s on both sides of Unitarian and Universalism. And this is how it was taught to me by the Reverend Dr. Deborah Rabel Clark. My hand has 5 digits, and there are 5 points to the hand of fellowship. 1, ministry is an ancient profession, ever dedicated to helping human beings make sense of their world. Tonight, Beth, you join the holy line of ordained ministry. 2, in the whole cloth of ministry, our particular swath is Unitarian Universalism. My hand has touched other hands in an apostolic succession. I was given the right hand of kinship by the Reverend Jean Pupke, and Jean Pupke was given the right hand by Reverend Dr. Peter Rabel, and on and on. And Beth, now you are part of my lineage. I have been anointed by people who go in the direct line of Channing and Parker, Ballou, and the Iowa Sisterhood, into the whole host of predecessors who have created the living tradition of our ministry. And now you, Beth Monhollen, are also anointed. 3, my hand represents the Unitarian Universalist Ministers Association. Ministry is a demanding profession, and for excellence to flow, we need to be accountable to our colleagues and to support one another. We are here for you, and you are here for us. For being in right relationship with our colleagues helps all of our ministries flourish. 4, my hand also represents congregations which are key to ministry. You are now a minister in a tradition in which ministers come as church members and then are called out to be a person, a particular person. This is the bridging part. Also, it is our congregations and only our congregations that have the power to ordain. Regardless of where you go, a significant connection remains to this congregation that ordains you. 5, a minister comes from a heritage and lives in a present. But every cleric is also enrolled in what Parker called the coming church, that which is yet to be. This coming church is yours to help craft with those who are here now and all those yet to come. This coming church shall provide not only memory, but also hope for the ages yet to unfold. 5 fingers, each representing a part of ministry, and together they provide the power of the right hand of kinship. I now extend to you as I welcome you into the entirety of our Unitarian Universalist ministry. And just as I cannot be with you there today in body, there are other colleagues tangibly there and ready. Please look over to the section of ministers. They got you. We are held, you are held by a large, interconnected vocation. Welcome.
I passed the test. I am going to move this, though. You all still know we're at WellSprings, right? Without seeing it? Oh, beloveds, what an honor. Often at the ordinations I have witnessed, which honestly, this is my first in-person ordination, but the ones I have witnessed within Unitarian Universalism over the past several years, there has been a tradition of gathering and laying on of hands. And many of you here know that I actually was raised in Pentecostal churches, and laying on of hands and calling in the Holy Spirit is a sacred tradition for me from my childhood. And yet, I also, as reverently referenced, I chose to enter ministry in a time of a national shutdown when we could not be together. And as my dear friend Anne said, I know many of my colleagues only as faces on a screen, and I entered into this internship with you when we actually couldn't really be together in person. And I had to learn how to develop kinship and relationship here when we had to be distant. And there are, I know, many, many people joining us from all over the world right now, my friends and colleagues who could not physically be here. And so rather than having folks come and gather and put their hands on me physically, we are going to, as I have had to learn to do in my ministry journey, lay our hands on each other metaphorically. We are going to call on the Spirit of whatever you name God to be present. And that begins with, I would like everyone here in this room, in all the rooms, wherever you are, for just a moment to close your eyes. I would like you to close your eyes and imagine the thread that connects you, whoever and wherever you are, to me. And maybe that thread is that we are just colleagues who met for the first time today. Maybe we have known each other nearly all our lives. But I want you to imagine that thread that connects us. And imagine the thread that connects you to the person sitting next to you, to the person you carry in your heart, whose body is no longer on this plane, but whose spirit is still in your heart. I want you to imagine all the multiple threads of connection that are holding all of us all of the time, and to know that that, my beloveds, is where God is, whatever you might name God. And I invite you to open your eyes if you feel ready to, and look around this room, look around whatever rooms you are in, see the people, feel the people, the cloud of witnesses that you cannot see, and know we are always connected. I believe deeply that we are here to love each other through those interconnections, and I am honored today to be ordained into Unitarian Universalist ministry by this congregation that I love with all my heart. And I want to let you know that I will hold that thread of connection to you, to each of you in this room, to each of you in all the rooms for all the days of my life, as holy, as sacred. And that when there is sadness and anger and fear, I will make space for that, just as I make space for the love and the joy. That is my promise to you, and I hope as you move forward and feel everything this world calls you to feel, that you will hold this moment of connection in your heart and let it also sustain you, as I know it will sustain me. And I will invite our band to come back for our last song, and as they do, as is our tradition at WellSprings, I'll invite you to enter into a spirit of prayer and allow me one last moment to pray together. Spirit of life and love, creator of the interconnected web of which we all are part, I'm in this space today overflowing with gratitude and love. And I offer from my deep well of joy back to these people. And I pray, Spirit, that you will touch each of their hearts and give them the moment that they need to carry them through all the moments that will follow. Let us honor our interconnections. Let us honor our wholeness and know that together we will remake the world in love, in justice, and joy. May it be so, and amen.
Please rise for our final song today, This Joy.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This strength that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. This This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
This joy, everybody!
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
One more time.
The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
I believe there's a reception in the cafeteria, so please stay if you're able and join us in celebrating Reverend Beth Monhollen.